We're going to discuss two passages as usual. The first one is entitled Animal Life, and it is still related to our last chapter in chapter 7. And the second passage is related to the second chapter on the and chapter 8. That is our last chapter, and it's entitled The Brain. Yeah. So, what are being covered today? Kita akan bahas ini semua. Wait up, I'm okay. Um, we're going because in next 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, in next 3 weeks you're going to have your final test, and I'm going in this last two meetings. I'm going to review a little about especially about main ideas and then major and minor details and identifying synonyms, the ones that you can expect to be there in the final test. Begitu ya. Jadi
So
yang akan
next
saya
week
kasih
would
di
be the
final test.
last meeting, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The last meeting. After that, you're having your silent week, and then after the silent week, then there will be the final test.
Are we having
Okay.
a writing class next week because it would be New Year Eve?
Yes. And
Like
what's
this
wrong
week?
with the New Year's Eve?
This week we don't do the writing because of the Christmas Eve. What about next week?
Next week, we're having a synchronous session.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know the composition of this class about who's having Christmas and who's not, but that's just my habit of when it comes to religion-related holiday, I will have this asynchronous session. But since New Year is no one's celebration, I mean, yeah, it's not that sacred. Jadi saya tetap mengadakan synchronous.
Okay, that's
But
good.
of course, I'm open to any suggestions. Yeah. Okay. Ini tadi ya. So in this last 2 weeks, in those last two meetings, I'm going to review. We're going to have some drills, especially related to the types of problems that I'm going to give you in the final tests. And two of them are, of course, reviewing main ideas and then identifying synonyms. And as usual, there will be sprinkles of grammar. That is untuk yang sekarang itu about that clauses. And then we're going to review a little about gerund and compound words. And the last one is academic vocabulary review. Again, working with context. Okay. Yeah, so this is the first text to discuss, entitled Animal Life. I'm going to have you, Firman, to read the text and give me one sentence to be telling us about the main idea of this paragraph. Okay, you can start now.
Animal life. Animal life on Earth is very diverse. There are even more kinds of animals than there are plants. Scientists have identified and named more than 1.8 million species of animals. They believe there are still millions more to identify in the future.
Yes. Okay. Give me one sentence telling the main idea of this paragraph.
Animal life on Earth is very diverse.
Yes. Okay. Good for you that the main idea is stated. The main idea is clearly stated or explicitly stated there in the very first sentence. Animal life on Earth is very diverse. All right. Thank you very much. Still you, Firman. Do you think there's a minor detail here?
There are. The last sentence. They believe.
The last.
they believe there are still millions more to identify in the future.
Okay, that is the minor detail of which major detail?
Scientists have identified and named more than 1.8 million species of animals.
Yes, exactly. Ya, jadi diperjelas lagi dengan mengatakan they believe that they are still blah 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 in the future. All right, thank you very much. The next paragraph, everyone, please get ready. Ihsan, silahkan. Ihsan.
Vertebrates and invertebrates. There are two main groups of animals, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have a backbone. A backbone is a line of bones that goes down the middle of the animal's back. The backbone supports the animal. It also protects the spinal cord.
Mhm.
The spinal cord is an important group of nerves that send message between the brain and the rest of the body. Every vertebrate also has a head with a skull. The skull surrounds and protects the brain. Fish, snakes, birds, and monkeys are all vertebrates.
Okay, very good. My question is still the same. What is the main idea?
There are two main groups of animals, vertebrates and invertebrates.
Are you sure that's the main idea? Kalau Miss Ika udah nanya are you sure, itu berarti salah.
Uh,
That's the soft way to say that you're wrong. That's not the main idea. Okay, jadi itu bukan main idenya. Main idenya it's not stated. It's implied.
okay.
So, if it is implied, I need you to make one sentence telling the main idea.
The difference between vertebrates and invertebrates.
Okay, if you said so, then which lines telling us about the invertebrates? Kan tadi katanya bedanya antara vertebrates dengan invertebrates. Nah, tunjukkan sama saya mana kalimat yang menyatakan atau yang menjelaskan tentang invertebrates.
It's not stated.
It's not stated. Of course, it doesn't even exist. The definitions or the explanation about invertebrates, it's not implied. It doesn't even mention here. Okay, so everything here is about vertebrates.
Vertebrates. Okay.
Yeah, okay. But my question, I'm not finished yet. One is, karena ini udah final test ya, bentar lagi final test. Jadi saya akan kejar sampai betul jawabannya. Apalagi Ihsan sudah lama tidak bertemu, jadi saya pasti akan tanya terus. Okay. Okay, the topic of this, yang lain perhatikan ya. The topic of this paragraph is about vertebrates. Agree? Yes. Okay. But what is it about vertebrates that is being told in this paragraph? Aspek apa yang dibicarakan tentang vertebrates?
A backbone.
The features.
Backbone.
Okay, the features. Yeah, this tells us about the features, about the characteristics of vertebrates. Yes, that's correct. Tapi tadi bukan kalimat lengkap ya. So I'm gonna need a full sentence from you, Ihsan. What is the main idea of this paragraph? Full sentence.
The main features of the vertebrates.
That's not even a sentence. Itu bukan kalimat. Buat kalimat. Sambungin ya. Vertebrates are. Go on. Udah saya bantuin tuh. Vertebrates are
animals that have a backbone
and
uh, and skull.
yes. Okay. Akhirnya ya.
And what?
Itu dia. Memang ini tentang feature-nya gitu ya. Memang kalau mau mengatakan what if I answer this way? It's this paragraph tells us about vertebrates, about the characteristics of vertebrates. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. But if I want you to do more, then you do it. Jadi it's not as simple as that. Boleh sih tetap dibenerin, tapi kalau kita bisa more specific about the main idea, why not? If you can do better, why not? Okay, jadi seperti itu. Nanti kalau disuruh buat main idea, vertebrates are animals that have a backbone and a skull. That's good. Okay, masih Ihsan, don't go anywhere. Can you mention two of the minor detail? Kalau major itu biasanya orang gampang untuk classify. Tapi yang I'm asking you about is the minor details. Give me two of them.
The first one is it also protects the spinal cord.
It also protects the spinal cord. Okay, very good. Apa lagi? One more minor detail.
The skull surrounds and protects the brain.
Okay, the skull surrounds and protects the brain. Okay, very good. Itu menjelaskan lebih lanjut tentang apa itu fungsinya dari skull, ya, the function of the skull. All right, thank you very much. Selanjutnya. Okay, now let me just go to the lady. Okay, Susie, silahkan. Could you please read this paragraph?
Invertebrates are animals that do not have backbones, such as worms and spiders. About 95% of all animals are invertebrates. Many of them have a hard protective covering, such as a shell. Invertebrates are found everywhere, but most, like the starfish and the crab, live in the ocean.
Okay, the same. Which one is the main idea?
Invertebrates are animals that do not have backbones.
Yeah, okay. That's the main idea. It's stated. Yeah. The main characteristic is that they do not have backbones. All right. What about the minor detail? Is there any minor detail there in the paragraph, Susie?
About 95% of all animals are invertebrates.
Okay. Why do you think it is a minor detail?
To give more specific information
About what?
about invertebrates animals.
Yeah. Okay, but why don't you think this is a major detail?
Oh iya. Ya itu major mem.
Gara-gara ditanyain terus akhirnya, oh iya itu major detail. Jangan sampai gitu ya, maksudnya. Okay. Ya, tapi betul tadi yang sebetulnya yang about 95% of all animals itu adalah major detail, ya. Okay, again, my question. What about the minor detail? Is there any minor detail here?
Yes. Many of them have a hard protective covering such as shell. What was like?
Kalau yang lain bagaimana?
Agree.
Another opinion?
Agree.
Why? Why do you think this is the minor detail?
There is no minor
of-
details.
Baru ditanyain why do you think?
I changed my mind.
Udah langsung
It's minor
dikoreksi.
detail because it's giving out examples of invertebrates.
Giving you example?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are many types of invertebrates. Some are soft skin and hard shells.
Okay. Yeah. But my question is, do you think that this sentence, many of them have a hard protective covering, it's further explaining
No.
this 95% of
No, that's just one
animals?
example.
Yeah, it's not explaining further about this 45% of all animals. Berbeda misalnya kalau for example in the second paragraph it tells about there are some characteristics of invertebrates, many of them have a hard protective covering. Itu mungkin bisa many of them di sini that is becoming the minor detail. Tapi if you pay attention, there is no there is no direct relationship between 95% of all animals with many of them having a hard protective covering. Jadi, actually in this paragraph there is no major details. Yes, you are given example, memang dikasih example, tetapi the examples are included in the major details. Jadi kalau minor detail, itu dia di dalam kalimat sendiri, di kalimat tunggalnya itu bicara hanya contoh, only example. Ya, kalau di sini kan bukan. Many of them have a hard protective covering, baru deh diikutin contoh, such as a shell. But it doesn't make this sentence a minor detail. Walaupun di situ ada contoh. Tetapi kalimat itu bukan minor detail. Okay? Jadi di sini there is no minor detail. The major detail are talking about the number of invertebrates, kemudian the characteristics of invertebrates, itu salah satunya have a hard protective covering, and then where to find them. Where to find invertebrates. Itu yang dibicarakan, the supporting details of the topic sentence. Tapi semuanya adalah major details. Tidak ada minor details. Okay. Karena memang yang penting adalah major details ya. Selanjutnya. This one. Arya. Okay, silahkan Arya.
Symbiotic relationships. Animals connect with each other in various ways. One way is by forming relationships called symbiotic relationships with other organisms. Symbiosis is any close relationship between living things. There are three categories of symbiotic relationships: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism.
Yes, great. My question, my question is, main idea.
The main idea.
Yeah.
Animals connect with each other in various ways. One way is by forming a relationship called symbiotic relationships with other organisms.
Be careful, I'm asking you the main idea. Berarti kalau main idea itu yang memang dibicarakan in the whole paragraph, not just an opening sentence.
Yes, is any close relationship.
What was that
Ini
one?
suaranya Ihsan atau Arya?
Son.
Arya.
Yes. I think it
what
starts from animals all the way to with other organisms. That will be the main idea of the paragraph.
Two sentences?
Hmm?
Two?
Sorry?
Two sentences?
Because the second one is only a supporting, but although it actually give out more details.
Okay,
course.
wait up. Wait up. The first sentence, animals connect with each other in various ways. In various ways. Okay. And then one way is by forming a relationship called symbiotic relationships. And after that, everything in this paragraph tells us about symbiotic relationship. Tuh kan udah jadi kejawab deh. Jadi hati-hati tadi. Animals connect with each other in various ways. Actually, it's just an opening statement to start a paragraph. But when it comes to the main idea, you have to think, what is exactly this paragraph talking about? Ini paragraf ini ngomongin apa sih di keseluruhan teksnya? Find the keyword that is repeatedly mentioned. Cari kata kunci yang terus-menerus disebutkan di situ.
Symbiotic
Relationships.
Okay, that's the topic. Okay, that's the topic. I'm not finished yet. That's the topic. It's about symbiotic relationship, or it's about symbiosis, whatever you want to call that. That's the topic. So, next, give me one sentence telling about the main idea. What is it about the symbiosis that is being told here?
Symbiosis is any close relationship between living things.
Okay. And
Is it more than one sentences or?
no, it can be put together in one sentence. For example, symbiosis is any close relationship, is a close relationship between living things, and is divided into some categories. Okay, jadi atau misalnya kalimat sederhananya bisa seperti tadi. This paragraph tells us about the definition of symbiosis and its categories. Begitu ya. Jadi that's how to make, especially when you are when you have to make your own sentence, when it is implied, ketika main idea-nya itu implied, tidak disebutkan secara jelas di dalam satu kalimat, begitu. Okay. Selanjutnya. What about this? Siapa ya yang belum? Okay, Mbak Rini, silakan. Could you please read the paragraph? Mbak Rini. Mbak Rini, are you there? Can you hear me?
Sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Could you please read this paragraph?
Okay. Mutualism is when both organisms benefits from the relationships. For example, some small birds sit on water buffaloes and eat the insects that bother the animals. In these relationships, the birds benefit and the water buffalo benefits. The birds get food and the water buffalo gets water insect bites. Commensalism is when the organisms benefits and the other is not affected. For example, a fly may land on a cow that is walking across a field. The fly gets a ride to a new place, but the fly neither helps or hurts the cow. The fly benefits, but the cow is not affected.
Okay, very good. Yeah, Mbak Rini, could you please tell me what is the main idea? What is the main idea of this paragraph? this paragraph is definitely does not have any stated main idea. Ini sudah jelas tidak ada stated main idenya. Yes, Firman.
Oh, Bu Rini dulu, masalah nanti berhubungan.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the main idea is the relationships.
Okay, the relationship between who and who.
The relationships, the relationships of the animals.
Be more
So-
specific.
The relationships. Okay.
What is it about?
The two types of relationships.
The relationships.
Is it
The relationships amongst the animals that is not jumping into another. I mean,
Okay. saya agak bingung dengan sorry.
wait, ma'am, I have to read. I have to read and understand the content first.
Yeah, tapi yeah, of course when what is it? Jumping to one another. What
Jumping
does
of
it
the
mean?
mutualism.
Yeah. Okay. Be careful. This is about the relationship between animals and living things. Tapi again, when it comes to the main idea, you really have to be more specific. What is this paragraph telling you about? What kind of relationship are we talking about here?
Is it the main idea is definition mutualism and commensalism?
Okay, yeah, that's one of them. Masih ada yang kurang. Okay, this paragraph is telling us about the definition of mutualism and commensalism. Apa lagi? Apakah memang hanya definition saja?
Oh, the one organism benefits and the other is not affected.
Ya, itu lebih kepada hanya bicara soal commensalism. Ya, yang one organism benefits, yang satu lagi biasa-biasa aja gitu, tidak terpengaruh apapun. Itu hanya bicara soal commensalism. Ya. Tadi, go back to the main idea. The main idea, this paragraph is telling us about the definitions of mutualism and commensalism, as well as the examples. Simple. Ya, karena memang itu yang diberikan di sini. Tidak hanya definisi dari mutualism, tidak hanya definisi dari commensalism, tetapi juga contohnya. Contoh dari mutualism itu apa? Contoh dari commensalism itu apa? Okay? Yeah. Alright.
Okay, my question.
Yes.
Bisa nggak paragraf ini dibagi dua? Mutualism satu, communalism satu lagi.
Yes, of course. Definitely.
Lalu kenapa digabung sama writernya?
Nanti saya tanya dulu penulisnya ya. Saya hubungi Cambridge dulu. Kira-kira kenapa ini? How do I know? How should I know? Yeah, jadi when you ask can it be separated? Yes, you can separate this, making each paragraph as only one. Only one thing to be explained. Jadi kalau nanti dipisah, when it is separated, the first paragraph is only talking about the definition and example of mutualism. And then the second paragraph, it's only about commensalism and the definitions and their example and its example. Okay, but why is it not separated? Well, frankly speaking, I'm not very sure why is it not separated, but it's okay. I mean, It's fine. If even if you want to put the parasitism into one paragraph, that would be okay. No problem. Mau dipisah juga bisa, mau digabung semuanya juga bisa. Kayak gitu. Oke, okay? Tapi kalau misalnya seperti ini. Lihat di sini. This is one paragraph, yeah, parasitism, about parasitism. If you want to put it into one paragraph, it's just technicality actually. The parasitism is put together here, together with mutualism and commensalism. Is it okay? Yes, it's totally okay. Totally okay. But perhaps it's gonna bore your readers. Kalau misalnya kita yang melihat begitu ya, kita yang membaca atau kita yang menulis, harus dipertimbangkan, is it gonna bore our readers? I mean,
Too many
offering
words
them.
in one slide.
Yes.
It's all about presentation.
Yes, that's good. It's all about presentations. You really want your readers to enjoy your writings, not only because of the content, but also how is it presented. Tetapi bagaimana itu ditampilkan begitu.
It may also serve as a cliffhanger because parasitism is nothing nice like the mutualism
Yes.
and commensalism.
Exactly, I like your point. Yeah, kalau di sini betul sekali ya, mutualism and commensalism, at least both of them have one thing in common. At least one person, at least one animal or one living thing gets the benefit. Yeah. So, thank you. I like this logic. And then the second one, this one, parasitism. No one. I mean, bukan no one. Yeah. Oh, one animal gets sick, one animal gets harmed, begitu. Paling tidak, the situ logiknya. Yang satu, ya, nothing wrong with those relationships, but when it comes to parasitism, there's something wrong there. Okay, thank you, Arya. Yeah. Okay, do I answer your question, Firman?
Yes.
Are you satisfied? Ya, tapi nanti kalau perlu saya email Cambridge deh. Ini kenapa sih nggak dipisah? Okay, selanjutnya. Now, parasitism. Can I go to? Okay, let me just go back to you, Firman. Silakan dibaca.
Dangers for animals.
No.
Yep,
Parasitism.
Oh yeah. Parasitism is when one organism benefits and the other is hurt. For example, ticks often attach themselves to the skin of other animals, such as dogs. The tick drinks the dog's blood and gets food, but the tick can make the dog sick. The tick benefits, but the dog can get hurt.
Okay, so what is the main idea? What is this paragraph telling us about?
Definition of parasitism.
Telling us about the definition and
The
Example.
example.
the example of parasitism. All right, very good. Selanjutnya, dangers for animals. Ihsan.
Dangers for animals. Human activities can be dangerous for animals as well as for plants. Deforestation and environmental changes such as global warming can harm them both. Many animal species are losing their habitats. Some are in danger of becoming extinct. Others are already extinct. Many biologists and environmentalists think these changes in animal life are a clear warning about the future health of our planet.
Okay. I guess this one is a piece of cake. What is the main idea?
Human activities can be dangerous for animals as well as for plants.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So it is stated main idea. It's stated in the very first sentence. Okay. What about the major detail? Iya deh, tadi saya lupa kasih major detail. What about the major detail? Ihsan.
Uh, Deforestation and environmental changes, such as
Yeah.
global warming, can harm them both.
Okay. Yeah, because we're talking about human activities that are dangerous for animals, and it is explained by the major details in the second sentence. Yeah, about deforestation and environmental changes. All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Do we have another paragraph to discuss? Okay, that's the last paragraph. Thank you, everyone. Now, still related to the first reading, I have. I guess this is a quite interesting exercise. Um, we have read about this relationships between living things comprises mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Okay, please take a look at the situations, yeah, the conditions from number 1 to 5. Okay, read them very carefully and then decide whether the relationship between the animals here are they mutualism, commensalism, or parasitism. Okay, so you have 1 minute to do this. Silakan dikerjakan. Okay. Uh, yeah, let's discuss your answers. Number 1. Nomor 1. Susie, could you please do number 1?
A stream digs. Just the answer, ma'am.
Dibaca dong.
Okay. A stream digs a hole in the sand. It lives there with a goby fish. The stream cannot see well. The stream and the goby fish go outside the hole. When there is danger, the goby fish touch the stream to warn it. Both animals go back into the hole and both are safe.
Okay, so your answer is
The relationship is mutualism.
mutualism. Now, let me ask you this. What benefits obtained by a shrimp?
The goby fish can live together with a stream in the hole, in a hole which digs from a stream.
Okay, so
And then when there is
so that's the benefit of obtained by the goby fish, right? From this relationship. Jadi itu manfaat yang didapatkan sama si goby fish ini, begitu ya?
yeah,
Yeah. The gobyfish can stay, can live with the shrimp in the hole dug by a shrimp yang digali sama si udang ini by the
Udang.
shrimp. Okay. What my next question is, what is the benefit, because you're saying that this is mutualism, so what is the benefit obtained by the shrimp?
Yeah. When there is danger, the goby fish touch the shrimp to warn it.
Okay, so the shrimp got protected by the gobyfish. Okay, thank you very much. Jadi itu ya, makanya the relationship is of mutualism. Number two, Mbak Rini,
Yes,
silakan.
ma'am. Number two, the suckerfish and the shark travel together. When the shark finds something to eat, the suckerfish also eats some of the food. This does not bother the sharks. It's commensalism.
Okay, commensalism, very good. Now, let me ask you this: what is the benefit obtained by the shark?
Um, um, I think the suckerfish eat the leftover from the shark's food.
Okay. What's with the doubt? Ya, kenapa ragu-ragu itu? Tadi kan sudah jelas commensalism. Kalau
Yes.
commensalism berarti one animal gets the benefit, but the other animal is not affected. Tidak terpengaruh apapun. It doesn't get any benefit, it doesn't get any harm. Ya, tidak dapat benefit, tidak dapat bahaya juga, begitu. Tidak. Nah, berarti when I ask you, what benefit obtained by the shark? Nothing. Ya, tidak ada yang didapat sama si shark itu dengan keberadaan suckerfish. Mau suckerfish itu ada atau tidak, it doesn't influence the shark. Tidak ada pengaruhnya apapun kepada shark. It's different from the suckerfish. The suckerfish gets the benefit. The suckerfish itu mendapatkan manfaat berupa apa? Some food,
Yes.
yeah, found by the shark.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you very
Good,
much,
ma'am.
Mbak Rini. Number three, Arya.
A tapeworm lives inside a dog. The tapeworm is safe and eats food from the dog's intestine. The dog does not get the nutrients from the food. Parasitism.
Parasitism. Okay, so it's clear, yeah, that the one who gets the benefit is the tapeworm, and the one who gets the harm is dog. Okay, thank you. Number four, saya I guess I'm going back to you, Firman.
An ant protects a butterfly from enemies. The butterfly provides food for an ant. That is mutualism.
Mutualism. Okay, yeah, it's also clear. The situation is crystal clear that the butterfly got protected by the ant, and in return, the ant gets what is it? Gets food. Yeah. Okay, that's mutualism. The last one, number five. Ihsan. Ihsan, silakan.
A mosquito bites a bird and brings it its blood. The mosquito needs a substance in the blood to produce eggs. The bird feels uncomfortable and sometimes gets sick from the bite.
Yeah.
It's parasitism.
Parasitism. Yeah. The bird or anyone, or any animals bit by the mosquito is of course the ones that got uh, the harm. Yeah. Okay. Pokoknya kalau udah berkaitan dengan nyamuk, the other side itu pasti dapat bahayanya. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so that is our discussion for the first reading. Now let's go to I will just go directly to the second reading before we discuss the grammar things. Okay. Another exercise. Find the synonyms. You don't have to worry. I'm not going to ask you about the main idea, but simply the synonyms, because this is the thing that I will definitely give you in the final test. But as usual, I'm going to need some of the students to read the text still. Um, okay, Rizkima. Okay, so Rizkima, you just joined. Could you please read the first reading? The
Yes,
brain
ma'am.
here? Yes.
Okay. Just like other organisms, humans are made of cells. All cells grow, develop, and eventually die. However, as far as we know, only humans are able to think about ideas, and only humans have a sense of self, or that is a sense of uniqueness of being an individual. An important reason for these differences is the human brain. Some animals have larger brains, but the human brain is much more complex than any other. It is the center of our thoughts, actions, feelings, dreams, and memories. Some organisms can make simple tools and communicate in basic language. However, the human brain makes it possible for us to do much more. For example, we are able to use complex language, make music, create art, and develop complex tools and technologies.
Okay, thank you very much, Rizkima. So the focus in this exercise is to find the synonym. Still you, Riskima. I have this one. It's very simple actually, but when it comes to look for the words in the text, I don't know. Perhaps it deals with technicality. Many students are still finding it hard to find the synonyms. Yeah. Okay, Riskima. I have the first word that is finally, and I've already given to you the part of speech. The part of speech of finally is adverb. Okay, and the definitions is already given there. The last in a series of related events or objects. Yeah. So, what do you think is the synonym of the word finally? Please find it in this paragraph.
Amen.
Kira-kira yang mana? Caranya juga sama ya kalau mencari sinonim, karena kita mencari apa perintilan kecil-kecil itu, caranya adalah scanning, membaca cepat, begitu ya, baca cepat untuk mencari sinonim. Okay. One of the functions of me giving you the part of speech, the word class, is that to lead you to find the same part of speech in the paragraph. Jadi kalau sudah di sini ada adverb, pastikan yang dicari di dalam paragraph itu juga adverb juga, sama-sama adverb. Jangan cari yang lain, jangan cari noun, jangan cari verb, begitu. Okay, so what's your answer, Riskima?
However, ma'am.
However, are you sure? Ristika udah nanya, are you sure? Itu salah.
Deg-degan, ma'am.
Ya ampun, udah mau pertemuan terakhir masih aja deg-degan. Yeah. Eventually, when you want to describe a process, and then you're describing the very last process, you often use this word finally, blah blah blah. Nah, cari kata yang sama. What is the definition of synonym of the finally, the synonym of finally?
Akhirnya,
Yang sama-sama adverb.
tadi kayaknya ada deh.
Memang ada, bukan kayaknya ada, memang ada gitu.
Eventually,
Okay, that's the answer. Yeah. Lihat di sini. Take a look at this. Take a look at the example, the sentence. All cells grow. That's the first process. That's the first event. And then develop. That's the second, misalnya. And then the last phase, the last event is die. Okay, jadi di situ pakai eventually, so that is the same as finally. Okay, thank you very much, Rizkima. Next,
Yes, ma'am.
Erika. Lanjutnya tadi kayaknya saya lihat Erika. Okay, Erika. Instrument. Instrument, the part of speech is noun. And the definition is there. A device or implement used to carry out, untuk melaksanakan, untuk melakukan a particular function. Erika. Is Erika there? Are you there? No? Okay, Firman.
Tools.
Yeah, tools. Okay. Very simple. Okay, instrument di sini dalam konteksnya juga sama dengan tools ya, peralatan, perlengkapan. It's the same as equipment, device, or implement. Okay, thank you. Selanjutnya. Ihsan, please read the paragraph.
Position, structure, and function. When scientists describe the brain, they note several key features.
Okay.
Surprisingly, the brain is quite small, even though it is complex. An average brain is about the size of 2 fish, and it weighs approximately 1.4 kilograms. Some people describe the brain as looking like a soft, pink, wrinkled rock. Others say it looked like a sponge. This important organ consists of three parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem.
Okay. Now, talking about composition, structure, and functions of a brain. I have a word there, characteristic. That is a noun, and it means the quality belonging to a person, a place, or a thing. Ihsan. Okay. What is the synonym of characteristic?
Is it features?
Yes, okay. Features. Yeah, characteristic and feature has the same meaning as well as the same part of speech. Kelas katanya juga sama. Begitu. Thank you. Selanjutnya, complicated. Complicated is an adjective. So which one is the synonym? Arya. I guess this one is easy.
For complicated,
Yes.
complex.
Complex. Yeah, all right. In this context, complex and complicated, they can be interchangeable, ya, karena mereka punya makna yang sama. And of course, the same part of speech. Thank you. Selanjutnya. The next paragraph. Saya ke siapa ya? Mbak Rini.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It controls most of our thinking and speaking. And our five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. The cerebrum is divided into two halves or hemispheres. The left hemisphere is important for speech, language, logic, and math skills. The right hemisphere is important for creative abilities, such as playing a musical instrument, drawing, painting, and writing books. Some people seem to use one hemisphere a little more than the other. For example, a concert pianist might use the right hemisphere more. A mathematician might use the left hemisphere more. However, in the human brain, the two hemispheres work together so that we are able to do wide varieties of things.
Okay. Now I have a word speaking.
Conveying.
Speaking is a gerund. it acts, it is a noun. Kelas katanya noun, walaupun dia verb, sepertinya verb ing begitu ya, tapi dia noun. So
Speech.
speech, alright. Yeah, jadi you can take into speech. You can use speech or speaking. Okay, another student. Sebetulnya masih ada. I'm going to ask you Rizkima. Siapa? Susi. Sorry, Susi. I have another word for you to find the synonym, Susi. I have this verb phrase. Yeah. Could you please find the synonym of apa tadi? Consists of. Consists of. That's a verb phrase. Bisa dicari in this paragraph which expression having the same meaning as consists of.
Such as?
No. Consist of. Terdiri dari. When you want to when you want to introduce a list, what is it? That is also part of a verb. Tadi kalau such as kan bukan verb phrase. Yang di sini yang saya tanyakan adalah verb phrase. What is that? Atau ada yang bisa?
Divided into.
It's divided into. Yes, that is the synonym of consist of. The difference is only consist of is is written in active voice. Meanwhile, is divided into is in passive voice. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. Kecuali kalau tadi saya tanya misalnya such as atau for instance, mungkin ini jawabannya ya, for example. Tetapi I'm asking you about consist of. Sama-sama verb phrase, begitu, divide into, kemudian consist of. Selanjutnya. Rizkima. Ya, silakan dibaca dulu. Rizkima.
The cerebellum. Control the body's movements, balance, and muscle coordination, the way the muscles work together. The brain stem is the smallest part of the brain. It connects the brain to the spinal cord and the rest of the body. It controls some of the body's basic function, such as the heartbeat and breathing. It also handles all the message between the brain and the body.
Okay. Question. Link. Be careful. Link as the verb. Where were we? Okay. Yeah. Link. What is the synonym of link as a verb?
Connects.
Connect.
Udah dibisikin sama Arya. Okay. Connects ya, menghubungkan, mengaitkan, menyambungkan. That's link. Okay, my next question. Erika tadi nggak bisa itunya ya, audionya. I will just go back to you, Firman. What is the synonym of the second word? Firman.
Yeah, I'm here.
Pulse. That's a noun. What is the synonym?
Stem.
Pulse. Lihat itu. Lihat ini. Apa definisinya? A rhythmical throbbing of the arteries. Arteries itu pembuluh darah. As blood is propelled through them. Ketika darah itu terus-menerus dipompa begitu. Nah, itu akan menghasilkan apa? That rhythmical throbbing. Typically as felt in the wrist, or neck. And your wrist or neck. We call it pulse. Udah dibisikin sama Ihsan. Betul ya, heartbeat. Kenapa jadi stem? Okay,
Brain freeze.
pulse. It has the same meaning as heartbeat. Okay, ya, jadi detak jantung begitu. Okay, thank you very much. Be careful of this. This is simple, but it's quite intriguing. It's quite tricky. Okay, next. This one. Siapa tadi ya? Arya. The processing.
Every second of your life, your brain receives message from the parts of your body and the world around you. The brain interprets or figures out these messages, and it tells you what to think and how to act. For example, imagine that you drop a book on your foot. Your brain, not your foot, tells you what happened and if it hurts. Similarly, your eyes send message to the brain, and the brain tells you what you see. In this way, the brain interprets almost everything you do.
Okay, likewise.
Similarly,
Okay, good. That's the synonym of likewise. Yes, similarly. Okay, masih Arya, because similarly and likewise is easy for you. Ini juga bukit gampang. Transmit.
send message.
Yes, that's good. Transmit.
So it's
That
it's two words. So.
Huh?
Is it two words? Send message.
No.
Send,
The
just
transmit.
send.
Yes, transmit is. I mean, it goes without saying. When you say transmit, it means you send messages. Apa?
So it's just send.
Yeah, but generally, transmit here has the same meaning with as send. Ya, jadi cukup
Sending.
send-nya saja,
Or deliver.
mengirimkan, begitu ya. Okay, jadi both of them have the same meaning. Jadi bisa nanti if you want to make this kind of the sentence in this context, you can say your eyes transmit messages, for example. Jadi it's interchangeable because they have the same meaning and they can be used in the same context. Okay, and the part of speech is of course the same. Thank you very much. The last one. Brain research. Siapa ya? Siapa tadi? Firman. Okay. Ya, nggak apa-apa deh, Firman aja. Brain research.
Brain research. The brain is still a mystery, but scientists are learning more about it all the time. Medical research are improving the treatment of brain injuries, disease, and disabilities such as Alzheimer's disease and autism. Others are experimenting with computer chips and paralysis. They implant computer chips in the brain, and a computer help paralyzed people move again. Some brain researchers are applying their knowledge to the classroom. They examine how the brain learns. With this knowledge, teachers can teach more effectively and students can learn more easily. Science has made wonderful advances in brain research, and many scientists believe that brain research is one of the more interesting and exciting areas for future study.
Very good. My first question. Dysfunction. Abnormality or impairment in the function.
I saw it.
Be careful. In the function. Yes?
The mystery. Disabilities.
Disability. Yes. Okay. In this context, disability has the same meaning as dysfunctions. Ya, jadi ada kerusakan. There is some kind of abnormality in the functions, especially in the function of brain. Begitu ya, fungsi otak begitu. Okay, dysfunction, disability. What about the next one? Riskima.
Research, ma'am.
Investigate. Research.
Researchers.
Research. researchers. itu itu ketahuan banget ragu-ragunya ya, researchers. Hati-hati, researchers ada er di belakangnya, itu berarti that
Orangnya.
refers to a person, orangnya.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
noun. Yang ditanyakan di sini adalah investigate, a verb.
Examine.
Ya, Rizky Mako yang jawab Firman. Apa tadi, kedengeran nggak?
Enggak.
Nggak kedengeran.
Bentar,
Oke,
Mem. Bentar.
bagus. Good
Aku
then.
aja. Jangan ada yang jawab, aku aja.
Jangan ada yang jawab. Oke, nah gitu dong, semangat ya. Ya,
Terus tadi.
kalau tadi ada di sini, if there is a word research as a verb, itu saya betulin. Betul, bisa. Research itu bisa sebagai kata kerja, ya. Tapi di sini the problem is in this paragraph there is no word research as a verb, so I cannot accept your answer. Gak bisa. Di sini semua research dipakai sebagai kata kerja, kata benda. Kayak di sini brain research di sini sebagai kata benda, penelitian, bukan sebagai kata kerja. Jadi makanya tadi ketika jawab research, I cannot accept that. Coba yang mana? Investigate. Carry out research or study, melakukan penelitian, melakukan kajian, menguji sesuatu.
Experimenting, Mem. Jeremy.
No, bukan masalah itunya. Sama-sama experimenting di situ digunakan sebagai kata kerja, walaupun dalam bentuk continuous, ya, are experimenting. Tetapi, okay, boleh deh experimenting. Walaupun experimenting is one way to investigate. Jadi kalau investigate itu ada it is an umbrella term. Itu adalah istilah how to investigate. One of them is by experimenting. Di bawahnya salah satu metodenya adalah melakukan eksperimen, begitu. But actually that's not what I meant. Ya, tadi sudah dijawab sama Firman. Investigate di sini, the synonym is examine, begitu ya. Yes, examine. Artinya menguji sesuatu, menguji sebuah kebenaran misalnya. To discover facts or information. It's also the same as doing or carrying a research. Okay. Yeah, so be careful when looking for synonyms.
Okay, thank you, Mem.
Yeah. Okay, so far, do you have any questions about the main idea, about the synonyms? Kalau tidak ada, saya lanjut ke sini ya. That clauses. Okay. Bentar ya, minum dulu. Okay, that clauses. We know that sentences in English can have more than one clause. Ya, sudah pasti. In fact, many of them, a good writing is the one with sentence with more than one clauses. Ya, jadi justru semakin baik kalau klausanya di dalam satu kalimat itu lebih dari satu klausa. And one of them, in order to make that sentence more than one clause, is that we can use the so-called that clause. Apa sih yang disebut dengan that clause? So that clause is actually one type of adjective clause. Ya, ada banyak bentuk adjective clause itu, tetapi one of them is that clause. And since it is an adjective clause, it functions, of course, as an adjective. Jadi fungsinya sama seperti adjective. It modifies or describes a noun or noun phrase. Jadi menjelaskan noun atau noun phrase. And it is always put directly after the noun being described. Pasti ditempatkan setelah kata benda, begitu. So, please take a look at this example. The first example, a crab is a small animal that has a shell. That has a shell. Yeah. So we have this one sentence is actually having two clauses. Dia punya dua klausa. The first one is the main clause, the independent clause, and then the second one is the dependent clause yang disebut dengan dependent clause atau adjective clause. Okay. The main clause, a crab is a small animal. Kemudian mau kita jelaskan lagi lebih lanjut. What is this kind of small animal? Gitu ya. We want to describe this further. Then one of them is by using adjective clause. Let's take a look at this. So after this noun phrase, setelah noun phrase ini, it is directly followed by adjective clause that has a shell. Okay. Kemudian yang kedua, Earth is a beautiful planet. Yeah, that is the main clause. Disebut main clause karena dia bisa berdiri sendiri. You can simply say Earth is a beautiful planet. Period. Gak ada masalah. Tapi kalau kita ngomong tiba-tiba, that has a lot of diverse forms of life. Orang akan bingung karena itu bukan kalimat independent begitu. Ya, jadi again, that has a lot of diverse forms of life. Itu adalah adjective clause. Kenapa? Because this clause is explaining noun phrase, a beautiful planet. Okay. So, that is a little bit about that clauses, about that clause. So, langsung pelatihan ya. Kalau di kelas reading nggak usah banyak-banyak grammarnya. Ya, coba. Yang penting begini. Why is this important for you, especially in reading class? Because when you understand the use of that clause, the use of dependent clause, you can separate between which one is actually the main clause conveying us the main information. Karena kan kalau main clause itu kan dia membawa informasi utamanya, ditambahkan dengan dependent clause itu. Jadi it's very important for you to even to better comprehend a text. Jadi bisa memilah mana yang sebetulnya main clause dan yang mana sebetulnya hanya informasi tambahan saja misalnya. Begitu. Okay, coba. Please make your own that clauses, yeah, in these 5 sentences. I will give you 1 minute to do this. Okay, so 1 minute starts now. Silahkan dibuat 1 sampai 5.
That grow anywhere on Earth.
That grow anywhere on Earth. Alright, very good. That langsung diikuti oleh kata kerja di situ, grow. Grow-nya juga plural without s because we're describing organisms. Organisms-nya digunakan dalam bentuk plural. Thank you very much, Arya. And then, okay, so Firman is giving us answers in the chat box. Plants are organisms that are known for healing. Yes, good. That are known. Organismnya itu kurang s. Ya, karena kan plural. Kemudian, plants are organisms. Oh, okay, udah dibenerin. That are known. Kok sama ini kalimatnya? Saya pikir udah dibenerin. Organismnya ya, tadi it's you missed the s. Birds are animals that have a backbone. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Erika. Yeah, Erika is saying plants are organisms that have cell wall in their cells. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Number 2, Arya. Birds are animals that uses flight as a method to move around. Yeah, but my concern is animals. You're describing animals. Animals is in plural, but then you use uses.
Use.
Oh, use.
Yeah, harusnya use
Oh.
saja. Number three, human activities cause environmental changes that affect other living organisms. Okay, perfect. Number four, some animals form relationships that both mutual and harmful.
No verb there.
Mutual,
There is
yeah,
no verb on the second one.
yeah, betul sekali. No verb in the second clause. Jadi harusnya mutual and harmful. Those are all adjectives. Harusnya before both you should add are. Mungkin lupa ya. That are
Both.
both
Okay, okay.
mutual and harmful. Earth is a planet that sustains many life forms in it. Yes, that's good. Thank you very much, Arya. Um, yeah. Rizkima is saying birds are animals that can fly, not that can flying, tetapi that can fly. Can is a model auxiliary and it should be followed by infinitive. Ya, jadi harus diikuti oleh infinitive. Kata kerja pertama begitu ya, without any ing atau ed. Oke, jadi yang lain nanti silahkan dilihat gitu ya. Your friends' work in the chat box. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so a little additional exercise for that clause. Yeah, but now perhaps you can use who. So of course, when you're making adjective clause, it's not only that. It's not only that you can use. Bukan cuma that, ya, tetapi we can also use who, whom, whose, which, where, misalnya ya, itu bisa kita pakai those relative pronouns. So it's not only that. In this exercise, you just have to add either who or that, depending on the context, and then but pay attention to the form of the verb. Ya, hati-hati di sini ada keterangannya. For example, number one, I have a friend. We're talking about a person, so you better use who instead of that. Jangan pakai that, ya, tetapi pakai who. I have a friend who buys. Kenapa pakai buys? Kenapa pakai as? Because you are required to write down buy in present tense. Harus pakai dalam bentuk present. Ya, jadi pakai buys. And we're talking about a friend, singular noun. Okay. What about number two? Coba, saya ke Ihsan. Nomor dua. Ihsan.
People who buy books online can write reviews and give a book 1 to 5 stars.
People who buy. All right. Yeah, there is no change. There is no change in the verb. Tetap buy. Kenapa? Karena subjeknya itu plural. Yes, very good. Selanjutnya, Mbak Rini, nomor 3.
A person who reads the reviews can be influenced by the opinions of others.
Yes, very good. The subject is singular person. So the verb is reads. Ya, pastikan reads-nya ditambah dengan s. Arya, number 4.
There are many neighborhood bookstores that lost business and had to close because of online competition.
Exactly. Yeah. Lose, the past form of lose is lost. And then since we're talking about noun, plural noun bookstores, bukan orang di situ, so we use that. Okay, that lost business. Number 5, Firman.
There are people who who have created successful business on the internet.
Exactly, good. Present perfect. Kalau sudah pakai present perfect berarti either use have atau has. Since we're talking about people, plural noun, jadi kita pakai have ya. Have created. Number 6. Rizkima.
Omidyar and Bezos are two people who understood the potential of the internet.
Yes, talking about people, pakai who, and then the past tense of understand is understood. Who understood. Number 7, Susie.
Jeff Bezos is lucky to have parents who believe in his idea.
Who believed, ya, jangan lupa pakai D, okay, because it's past tense. Parents who believed. Okay, Firman.
Kalau yang nomor 5, kalau di omissionnya si itu jadinya having created ya.
There are many
People.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to explain that just a little about that. Jadi that, tapi ada syaratnya ya. Ada adjective clause yang bisa dihilangkan relative pronounnya, bisa dihilangkan who atau that. Itu kalau kata setelahnya itu adalah kata kerja. Ini semua bisa dihilangkan. Bisa dihilangkan that-nya. Ya. Kenapa? Karena di sini misalnya I have a friend who langsung diikuti oleh by, kan? Langsung diikuti oleh kata kerja. Dalam kalimat yang seperti ini, who-nya relative pronoun-nya dia bisa dihapus. But the consequence is that you have to change buys into buying. Jadi, I have a friend buying all her books online. Begitu. Sama juga dengan number 5 tadi, pertanyaannya nomor 5 ya. There are people who have created successful businesses on the internet. Ya, who-nya dihapus begitu. Have-nya tadi have ditambah created-nya itu diganti, have-nya menjadi having. There are people having created successful businesses on the internet. Yes, thank you for reminding me that. Itu ya. Jadi tapi syaratnya tadi, kalau setelah relative pronoun itu langsung diikuti oleh kata kerja. Tapi kalau nanti contoh lain misalnya setelah relative pronoun itu ada subject, ada another subject. For example, apa lagi?
Something like this. I ate the cake that she cooked for me.
That she bought. She cooked or that she baked. Okay. Yeah. I have a cake. I ate a cake that she baked. Misalnya ya. Nah setelah that itu kan ada she. Ada another subject. Nah kalau di konteks itu nggak bisa that-nya dihapus. Ini yang saya tulis tadi contohnya Firman. I ate a cake that she baked. Itu. Lihat, setelah that, itu ada she, ada subject lain. You cannot omit that. Itu tidak bisa dihapus. Boleh dihapus. I ate a cake she baked. Tapi tidak ada perubahan kata kerja. Jadi bake-nya tetap baked, tidak ada yang diubah menjadi verb ing. Begitu.
Boleh atau tidak boleh?
Apanya?
Date-nya dihapus.
Boleh.
Ya, boleh.
Boleh. Maaf, tadi saya kasih taunya nggak boleh ya. Boleh. Jadi, tapi tidak ada perubahan harus verb ing atau harus apa gitu, itu tidak ada. Jadi you can simply say I ate a cake, she baked, gitu ya.
Lalu kalau passive voice jadi gimana?
Tadi there are people having created
Itu kan
successful
active voice.
businesses.
Kalau passive voice,
Having been,
I ate the cake that she
oh,
the cake that I ate that she that
I ate the cake. Oh, gini ya maksudnya. I ate the cake that is baked by her, by my friend, misalnya ya. Begitu. Misalnya, I ate the cake that is baked by my friend.
ya.
Ya itu, that is-nya dihapus. That dengan is-nya, dengan to be-nya itu harus dihapus.
Jadinya
I ate the cake baked by my friend. That's it. As simple as that. No changes. No change in the verb. Just itu kalau pakai pasif ya. Jadi that is-nya dihapus, but there is no change in the verb. I ate the cake baked by my friend. Begitu. Oke? Ya. Nomor 8. Ini tanggung sebenarnya tadi ya. Nomor 8. Siapa? Rizkima, number 8.
Friendster and MySpace were two internet companies who become.
Kenapa who? We're talking about two internet companies.
That.
Okay, what is the past then? What is the simple past of become?
Become apa ya mem pastennya?
Became.
Became. Okay.
Yeah. Companies
Became successful and failed.
that became successful. Okay, ya. Mungkin ada yang nggak tahu Friendster di sini.
Oh,
Kalau yang nggak tahu
pernah
Friendster.
bikin.
Ya, ya, itu dulu banget ya Friendster.
Rizky mah nggak tahu itu.
Nggak tahu.
Nggak tahu.
Nggak tahu Pak.
Yang tahu Friendster dan yang pernah buat Friendster. Kenapa Arya?
Atau layout Facebook awal-awal kayak apa belum tahu kan dulu kayak aduh nggak ngeri ya. Layout
Gak
pertama
tahu.
Facebook,
Oh,
pertama kalinya Facebook keluar, aduh.
Emang beda sama yang sekarang Pak?
Oh jauh.
yeah, it's totally different.
Rizky
It's-
mah Indah
it's
nggak
like-
tahu Friendster, MySpace.
It's like watching
Wow.
MS-DOS.
Tapi kalau Friendster itu nggak enaknya apa? Kalau kita lihat profil orang, ketahuan kita lihat.
Oh.
Gitu.
Oh iya mem, enak dong.
Nah, nggak enak lah. Kalau kita
dulu-
stalking orang,
Dulu
Oh iya sih.
Dulu tuh kayak blog.
Ketahuan.
Cuman
ya?
it's just a wall. Dulu tuh Friendster kayak it's just a wall, so you just put everything and then that's it. There's no real interaction. Like
Yeah. It's
I
not
mean,
like Facebook.
video, uploading
I
video
don't think
wasn't a thing back then.
video.
Wasn't a thing back then.
Mhm. Yeah. That's why it's failed.
Hmm.
Oke. Ya. Oke, jadi kalau yang udah tahu Friendster udah tua aja pokoknya. Oke, sekarang compound words. Ya, apa yang dimaksud dengan compound words? Compound words. Pasti dia, it's not a simple word. It comprises of two or more words.
Into one.
Itu yang disebut compound. And by understanding the meaning of the component of compound words, it can help us to understand perhaps the whole sentence, the whole paragraph. Misalnya ya, it really helps us. Even though we are not looking up the dictionary, misalnya ya, kalau kita nggak lihat kamus, tetapi by looking at the meaning of the component of the compound words, it will make us easily comprehend the text. Contohnya misalnya, coba. Number one, ya kalau udah tahu when when you already know the meaning, it's good. It really helps you. Tapi when you do not have any idea, for example, what backbone is, begitu ya, this can help you by by separating back and bone. Okay, I have back and I have bone. So I don't know what is that, but that may be something, a kind of bone, and on an animal or on a human that is located at the back. Paling tidak punya bayangan seperti itu. We have some images popping up in our mind even without looking at the dictionary. Ya, it really helps you. Coba misalnya, number 2, jellyfish. Mungkin ada yang nggak tahu apa misalnya artinya jellyfish yang sebenarnya. But when we see the components jelly and fish, masa sih ada yang nggak tahu jelly hari gini ya, jelly, kemudian fish. Jadi bisa terbayang jellyfish itu seperti apa. Coba. Di sini pasti sudah tahu what's the meaning of jellyfish. Tetapi I really need you to to give me the description. What comes into your mind when you hear the word jellyfish? Jangan langsung bilang ubur-ubur, okay? Apa yang ada di pikiran kita ketika mengatakan jellyfish? Siapa? Susi. Misalnya kita nggak tahu nih jellyfish itu ubur-ubur, ya. But if you hear the word jellyfish, itu kira-kira apa? Coba gambarkan bentuknya seperti apa kira-kira?
A fish look like jelly, soft and long.
It's a kind of fish. I don't know what is that. It's a kind of fish living in the ocean. It's like it's like jelly. It's soft. It's transparent, perhaps. It perhaps has some kind of color. Pokoknya itu deh. Kayaknya jenis ikan kayak begitu, ya. At least you have this image in your mind before you look up the dictionary. Okay, number 3, redwood. Siapa ya? Ristima.
Redwood is like a wood that have red color.
A wood that had red color. Okay, it's a kind of tree. Di sini ada tulisannya tree. A kind of tree, but the wood, what makes it different from other tree is because the wood may be red. Okay. Number 4, racehorse. Yeah, racehorse. Mbak Rini.
Yes, ma'am. Racehorse is the horse that used for race.
Nggak lihat kamus kan?
No.
Okay, racehorse. Di sini head itu apa ya? Compound words itu dia pasti ada yang berfungsi sebagai kayak a kind of adjective, dan yang kalimat kata terakhir itu adalah head. Disebut kepalanya begitu, headnya. Ya, jadi when we say a racehorse, ini berarti it refers to a horse, a kind of horse. Ya, dan tadi Mbak Rini mengatakan that a kind of horse that is usually used for race. Okay, thank you very much. Nanti kalau ada yang penasaran silakan baru lihat kamus begitu. Apa itu? To make sure, to justify whether our guess is correct or not. Okay, number 5, brainstorm. Brainstorm. What is that? Ada yang bisa? Firman?
To be on the same page.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, I mean
Kenapa sih?
the idea. So the brainstorm is like to
Research.
to giving the idea on the same page.
to give
To
an
give
idea
to
on
be,
the same page.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but basically, I don't understand why do you have to use the same page
So on the same thought.
on the same thought. Uh, okay, what image is popping up in your mind when you hear the word brain and
Uh,
storm?
a storm brewing inside our brain.
Storm. What kind of storm?
It's a storm of thoughts and every form of thinking
Yeah,
that kept our
okay.
brain busy.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the storms of ideas coming very fast inside our mind. Yeah. Various ideas in our mind. And that's why it is called storm. And that's why it's called also brainstorm because it happens in our mind. It happens in our brain. Okay. Number 6, mountaintop. Easy to imagine. Mountaintop.
The
Siapa ya?
highest part of the
Iksan.
mountain.
The highest part of the mountain. Ya, jadi dimanapun itu tempatnya, pokoknya mountain top, dia pasti ada di paling atas gunung. Gitu. Okay, what about number 7? Number 7, houseboat.
Boat to be utilized as a house.
Houseboat. Sorry, Herman?
A boat to be utilized as a house.
A boat to be utilized, yes, as a whole, as a house, ya. Jadi kalau karena headnya itu adalah boat, kira-kira where can we find this houseboat?
Ducks.
In the pier.
Ducks.
Excuse me, where can we find?
At the
River.
pier. At the pier.
On the river and the pier, ducks,
rivers,
harbor.
okay. Yeah, lake or on water surface, ya, karena kita sudah tahu di situ headnya adalah boat. Jadi jangan sampai terbalik, ya, antara house dengan boat. Okay, number 8. Anggap tidak tahu apa itu armchair.
A chair that has an arm.
A chair that has an arm. Okay.
I want it.
A chair that has an arm. Okay, so silahkan nanti dicek ya. Apa benar sih armchair itu adalah chair that has an arm? Yeah, sorry. And what is the function of the arm of the chair? Okay, toothpaste saya nggak akan bahas itu sudah tahu. Ya, jadi kira-kira begitu. So it's and there are thousands of compound words that you can find in reading text. By knowing the components of each of the compound words, hopefully you can at least imagine what kind of thing is that. Ya, jadi itu pentingnya pengetahuan tentang compound words. Okay, sekarang yang selanjutnya, a little bit of gerunds. Okay, gerund. That is an ing form of a verb. Bentuknya selalu pakai verb ing, ya. Ada ing di belakangnya. But this one for gerund is used as a noun. Jadi fungsinya sebagai noun. So when we're talking about a noun, it means it can be positioned as the subject or the object of a verb. That's the only function of gerund. Okay? Gerund tidak berfungsi sebagai verb. Hati-hati. Gerund tidak berfungsi sebagai verb di dalam kalimat. Contoh pertama. Exercising keeps your body healthy. Okay, we have this gerund at the beginning of the sentence. And then after this gerund, we have keeps as the verb. So in this case, in this sentence, exercising is a gerund functioning as a subject, yang berfungsi sebagai subject. Begitu. On the other hand, in the second sentence, I really like exercising. We have another gerund here, exercising. But in the second sentence, exercising here acts as a gerund of as an object of the verb. We have the sini subjeknya sudah ada, we have the subject I, and then we have the verb lie, and then it's followed by the object exercising. So in this case, exercising is the object of the verb like. Ya, nanti ada lagi nih misalnya. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Looking forward to hearing. Mungkin ini sudah belajar ya. To di situ ada preposition, kemudian diikuti oleh to hearing. Nah, hearing di situ adalah gerund. Kenapa? Karena dia adalah objek dari preposition. That's the object of a preposition. Okay. But another thing that you have to pay attention about gerund, that is not all ing forms are gerunds. Kembali kepada definisi awalnya, gerund is used as a noun and only a noun. It cannot be used as verbs because some ing forms are verbs. Yeah, especially when you're using the verb in continuous form dalam bentuk continuous, mau itu present continuous atau past continuous, kita pasti pakai verb ing. Contohnya di sini, we are exercising in the gym for 1 hour today. Lihat, sama-sama ada exercising, but in the third sentence, exercising it's not a gerund. Dia bukan gerund, tetapi that is only a part of a verb. Dia adalah bagian dari kata kerja. We is the subject, as or exercising is a verb. Okay, so please differentiate between gerund and verb. Gerund as a noun and verb. Okay, now I have 5 sentences. Kita punya 5 kalimat di sini. And each of the sentences consists of verbing, the ing form, ya. Ada ing formnya. Coba kita lihat. Number 1, for example. Mbak Rini, could you please read number 1 and then identify, is there any gerund or no?
Yes, ma'am. Thinking is something our brains do all day long. Thinking.
Thinking. Is thinking a gerund in that sentence? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Thinking is a noun.
Yeah, maksudnya gitu. Thinking is a noun, meaning that thinking in that sentence is a gerund.
Yes, ma'am.
Jadi gerund itu memang noun, ya. Gerund dia memang kata benda. Okay. In that sentence, what does thinking function? Di kalimat itu thinking berfungsi sebagai apa? Is it subject or object? Mbak Rini.
It's a subject.
Yes, it is a subject. Yeah, thinking is a subject and the verb is. All right, thank you. Number 2, Firman.
Many scientists are doing brain research that is ing form as a verb.
As a verb, okay, that is not a gerund, but it's part of the verb. Yeah, many scientists is a subject, and then are doing is a verb. Thank you. Number 3, Ihsan.
Experts say that sleeping is very important for healthy brain development. Sleeping as a noun.
Sleeping is the noun. Also, sleeping is gerund. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does it function in that sentence? Fungsinya apa? Apakah subject? Apakah object?
Object.
Object. What? Okay. Object of what?
say
Subject.
it, it, it's subject.
Oke, karena Mamika karena Mamika nanya lagi pasti ada yang salah. Oke, dirubah jadi subjek, tapi tetap akan ditanya lagi subjek di mana sih? Bukannya subjeknya sudah ada, experts.
Adjective clause.
Is very important.
Tadi kita baru belajar tuh. Okay, experts. Number 3, we have two clauses. Perhatikan, ada dua klausa. The main clause is experts say. That's the main clause. And then the second clause is that sleeping is very important for healthy brain development. That's the second clause. Dan yang namanya klausa, mau dependent, mau dia main clause, itu pasti harus ada yang berfungsi sebagai subject. Okay? Nah, in the main clause, the subject is experts. But in the dependent clause here, the that clause, ini yang menjadi subjeknya adalah sleeping. Okay, so sleeping is, yes, you are correct. Sleeping is the subject in the dependent clause. Begitu ya, itu jawaban lengkapnya. Menjadi subjek di dalam dependent clause. Okay, very good, Ehsan. Number 4, Rizkima.
Hearing and seeing are two senses that the brain controls. Hearing and seeing.
Okay, so are they gerund or are they
Yes.
verbs? Yes, that is
Gerund.
gerund. Hearing and seeing. Dan berfungsi sebagai apa?
Subject.
Subjects. Number 5. Thank you. Susi.
Scientists are learning more about the brain every day. Not gerund.
It's not gerund. Yes, very good. Yeah, are learning. That is part of the verb. Thank you. Okay, now please analyze this. We have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. 8 informs. We have 8 informs in this paragraph. So what do you think? The functions of the first gerund or the first inform for helping people.
Object
Object of what?
of rules.
Object of?
Uh,
Di sini, oke, yang tadi saya katakan bukan hanya sebagai object of a verb, tetapi gerund berfungsi sebagai object of preposition. Di sini before helping, we have for, that is the preposition. Jadi helping di sini adalah berfungsi sebagai object of preposition for. Okay. Expecting. The first rule is expecting the best.
verb ing.
Siapa nih? Oh, okay, masih Firman. The second one. Is it gerund or not?
That is gerund. Sorry, that is verb ing.
Okay, that is a verbing. That is not a gerund, ya. Bukan gerund, tetapi dia adalah objek. Dia adalah what is it?
Present continuous.
Sebentar dong. Saya jadi salah tuh. Enggak, ini gerund. Ini gerund, sorry. Kenapa gerund? Ada yang tahu?
Oh, expecting the best from the people you lead.
We're in the second, lihat di situ ya. In the second, in the second sentence, it's not telling us about the activity being done. Yang masuk ke dalam verb, part of verbs itu adalah yang digunakan dalam bentuk continuous tense. yang menyatakan aktivitas yang sedang berlangsung. Begitu, ya. Kalau di sini ini kan tidak ada makna menyatakan aktivitas yang sedang berlangsung. Misalnya kayak gini nih, we are learning English misalnya. Itu kan ada are learning, itu adalah bagian dari kata kerja. Begitu ya, menyatakan aktivitas yang sedang dilakukan. Kalau di sini bukan itu maknanya. Ya. So, expecting here is actually gerund and it functions as the object of a verb. Dia sebagai objek dari verb is. Ya, oke. Nomor 3. Coba, nomor 4. Di sini. Now, in the fourth sentence. Coba yang lain. Arya.
Sorry, which number, ma'am?
This one. The fourth sentence. The second principle.
Is making.
Making there. Making. Mm-hmm. Is it gerund or is it part of the verb?
It's gerund.
It's gerund. Yes, that's good. Again, the case is the same with the second sentence. Yeah, it's not telling us about the activity being done at the moment of speaking. Ini bukan bentuk simple, ini bukan bentuk present continuous tense, bukan. Begitu ya. Jadi making di sini, making here is the gerund and it functions as the object of a verb is, sebagai objek dari is. Number 5, walking a mile. Susie, the word walking there. Susie. Walking a mile in another person's shoes will allow a leader to blah blah blah. Susie.
Gerund.
Yes, walking a mile. Walking there, it's a gerund. What does it function? Fungsinya sebagai apa?
Subject.
Sebagai subject. So where is the verb? Kalau begitu, subjeknya udah ada. Verbnya yang mana?
Will allow.
Will allow. Yeah, that's the verb. Sekarang, will allow a leader to truly understand someone he or she is working with. Someone he or she is working with. Is working. What do you think? It is also a gerund or it's just a part of sentence? Oh, it's just a part of verb. Arya. Rizkima.
He or she is working with. A verb?
Yes, it is a verb. Yeah, someone he or she is working with, yang orang yang sedang bekerja sama dengannya, ya, at certain period of time. Ingat-ingat kalau belajar present continuous itu present continuous bukan hanya berfungsi untuk menyatakan aktivitas yang sedang dilakukan at the moment of speaking, tetapi juga bisa digunakan untuk menyatakan aktivitas yang sedang dilakukan dalam periode tertentu. Misalnya kayak gini, this semester I'm taking reading comprehension. Gitu ya. Jadi itu periode tertentu, 1 semester itu saya sedang mengambil reading. Begitu. Jadi itu salah satu fungsi dari present continuous. Oke. Number 6. Number 6 tadi sama ya kasusnya dengan expecting, kemudian making, establishing. That's the same. Establishing is also an object of is, an object of the verb. Okay, what about this? The sentence number 7. Many people have never learned the pleasure of setting high standards and living up to them. pleasure of studying?
Gerund.
Ihsan.
It's a gerund.
Mhm. Studying is gerund. Okay. What does it function? Fungsinya sebagai apa?
Yes. Object.
Object. Lanjutkan.
Object preparation.
Object of
Many people.
mana sih object of many people?
Lang-
Kalau Jaren jangan jauh-jauh nyari nyari
Sorry.
temannya.
Preposition.
Studying itu temannya adalah of.
Oh.
Jadi jadi studying di situ adalah object of preposition of. Ya, jangan sampai
Oh,
jauh-jauh ke many people.
Okay, man.
Number 8. Oke, nomor 8 juga sama ya. The fourth rule itu sama dengan making dan expecting. Kita ada creating. Creating is a gerund and it is an object of is. Oke. Jadi itu ya. Tadi berkaitan dengan gerund dan apa tadi? Compound words. Kalau ada pertanyaan silahkan. Boleh langsung ditanyakan. Okay. This is our last exercise, everyone.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
nanti deh.
No. Oke. Ya udah kesini dulu ya. Nomor 1. Langsung aja ya. You know what to do here. Okay. Number 1. Siapa? Susi, silahkan. Trees. Perhatikan konteksnya. Perhatikan butuh kelas kata apa. Susi.
Trees in a small forest. In one year.
We're talking about trees. We're talking about oxygen. Keeping several people alive.
Release enough oxygen in 1 year to keep several people alive.
Great. Yes, that's the answer. Trees release enough oxygen. Thank you very much. Number 2, Rizkima.
Some language experts believe that people
Mm-hmm. People, language experts,
function.
be careful. We're talking about language experts. Their messages with words and then 70% through nonverbal cues.
Categories.
Yes?
Categories.
No, be careful. We need a verb here. Di sini ini juga nih ya, tadi kebetulan pakai that juga. Some language experts believe that people is the subject and the dependent clause. So we need, setelah subject seperti biasa ada kata kerja kan? People. So what is the verb?
Communicate.
We're talking about words. We're talking about non-verbal cues. Non-verbal cues itu tuh seperti apa? Eye contact, kemudian hand signal, ya, tangan bergerak ketika bicara, atau misalnya your poise, bagaimana sikap tubuh kita, begitu. Itu masuknya ke dalam non-verbal cues.
Structure.
No, it's not structure, but communicate. That's the answer.
Communicate.
Yeah. Language experts believe that people betulnya berkomunikasi hanya 30% pakai kata-kata, but the 70% is through non-verbal cues. Okay, number 3. Mbak Rini, silakan.
A newborn human baby's survival depends on his or her caregivers.
Okay, very good, very good. We're talking about human babies. And then another clue is we have apostrophe S. It means that we need a noun. Kita butuh kata benda, ya. Apalagi ada depends on. So of course the answer is survival. All right. Number 4. Ihsan.
It's very important to create a good business plan to establish a new business.
Yes, good. Create a good business plan. Untuk apa? Di situ ada aspek tujuan ya. Kalau aspek tujuan, kita mau membicarakan tujuan, objective or purpose, we have to use to infinitive. Pakai to infinitive. So that's why we need a verb. Ya, business plan to establish. Apalagi konteksnya kita bicara soal business. So the correct form is establish. Number 5, Arya.
Attach an identification tag.
Attach. Okay, we're talking about pet's color. Di apa tuh? Kalau punya peliharaan ya. Di kalungnya begitu ya. It is usually we put this ID tag begitu. So the answer here is attach. Yang menempelkan an identification tag. Number 6. Thank you. Number 6, Firman.
To transport.
Many countries do not allow passengers to, ya, konteksnya dikasih dengan kata apa?
Across.
What are the contexts?
Something like it's allow passengers.
Kemudian
across international boundaries.
Yes, across, menyeberangi perbatasan internasional ya. Di situ konteksnya yang sesuai adalah transport. Alright. Number 7, Rizkina.
Queen of the Andes blooms only once in its 80 to 100 years lifetime. This fact to the beauty and mystery of the flame.
This fact is the subject. So it means that we need a verb. Apalagi di situ ada temannya itu, ada to. This fact, titik-titik, to the beauty and mystery of the plant.
Categories.
No. Categories, it's the noun. The Queen of Andes blooms only once. Bersemi itu hanya sekitar 80 sampai 100 tahun sekali waktunya. This fact
Function.
Contribute.
No.
Okay. This fact, karena function dia tidak berkolokasi dengan to. Ya, tadi saya sudah katakan di sini ada temannya, dia ada pasangannya to. Makanya jawabannya adalah contribute. This fact contributes to the beauty and mystery. Number 8, Ihsan.
Trainers use many different techniques to help animals learn how to behave.
Yeah, okay. Help animals learn, membantu binatang belajar begitu ya, learn how to behave. Betul, different techniques. Number 9, Mbak Rini.
Yes, ma'am. There are 5 different categories of hurricanes, from hurricanes that causes some damage to hurricanes that cause severe damage.
Okay, from hurricanes blah 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 to hurricanes blah blah blah. Ya, betul sekali di sini different categories. Number 10, saya ke Susi, silahkan nomor 10. Susi.
There are many types of plants with different parts. However, the structure of a normal house plant may include roots, stem, and flowers.
Okay, itu konteksnya diberikan roots, different parts, ya, roots, stem, and flowers. Yeah, so it the same. It's the same as we're talking about structure, the structure of a normal house plant. Okay. Yeah. So everyone, I believe that is our last exercise for this evening. So far, do you have any questions?
Let's
Ada
call a night.
pertanyaan? Yes?
Let's call a night.
Okay. Yeah. Just ada yang sudah lelah ya. tadi Firman ikut yang jam 1 gitu ya untuk kelas writing. Jadi yeah, exactly 5 hours with me. Okay, thank you very much everyone. So I'm signing off. I'm going to see you next week, next Thursday. Okay, assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Salam.